Greetings, Ben Murray here with another edition of SaaS Metrics School. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So before we get to today's metric, have a favor. I'd love more ratings and reviews for the SaaS Metrics School podcast. So in exchange for that review, I will mention your company in my newsletter to 70,000 subscribers, and I guarantee that will get clicks over to your company. So just email me a screenshot of that review and the link for your company, and I will get that into my newsletter. So would love that. So today's metric, and shout out actually to Griff Perry, one of the co-founders at Meter, who responded to my LinkedIn post about renewal rates as the canary in the coal mine metric. And I keep wanting to say canary in the gold mine, which I guess would be fine. I think that probably sounds safe, but maybe not in a coal mine. But that was a great, I don't know even what you'd call that, but the renewal rate is the canary in the coal mine metric because it is the leading edge of our aggregate retention. So first, what is the renewal rate? So this is highly applicable to SaaS companies who sell annual contracts and multi-year contracts. So you're signing up customers, whether you invoice them monthly for that annual contract or annually, but signing them up for long-term contracts. In those situations, we are going to track the renewal rate. Now, this is not our retention rate. This is the renewal rate. So the renewal rate looks at those contracts that are coming out of contract. So for example, you signed a customer for a 3-year contract and their anniversary date is coming up, the end of those 3 years. And of course, we're furiously trying to renew them. That is that time where we can measure the renewal rate. So it's those contracts that are available to renew, or you could say available to churn. So they have the option to get out of the contract. And that is the essence of the renewal rate. So say you have 10 customers who are coming out of 3-year contracts. So we have 10 customers up for renewal. And let's just say it's $1 million up for renewal. So that's what we're going to track, that $1 million, how much renewed, and then the 10 customers, how many renewed on account basis. And that gets to the heart of the renewal rate. So again, the inputs for this, we can do it on account basis and we can do it on a dollar basis. So why is this a leading edge metric, or at least as close as it gets to a leading edge metric or a leading indicator metric for SaaS metrics? Because this is the tip of our account management spear or customer success. So as we're renewing our customers, the impact of that, say everybody is renewing, that data is flowing into our retention metrics, whether that's cohort metrics, whether that's aggregate revenue retention metrics. That data feeds that aggregate data set. So if we're doing a better job on renewal rate every month, eventually our aggregate retention will catch up and will be influenced, of course, directly impacted by that renewal rate. Now, let's say times are tough and renewal rates are not going well, then you can expect your aggregate retention is going to drop. So that's why we call it, in this case, as close as it gets, probably to a leading edge metric. So one thing to note is when I went through a recent due diligence in that PE firm, we were calculating renewal rate, and they were definitely looking at renewal rate. In addition to customer retention, gross revenue retention, net revenue retention, slicing and dicing that data so they completely understood our retention metrics, but then also a nice supporting metric to your retention story is renewal rate. Just another data point to give them comfort that we have healthy recurring revenue. So the canary in the coal mine metric, thanks to Griff over at Meter for mentioning that in the LinkedIn post. And again, would love a rating and review, and I'll mention your company in my next newsletter. Just send me that screenshot at ben@thesaascfo.com. Thanks a lot.